experienced people. Oh, this is first time being general manager. This is first time being team president. This is first time being head coach. Now make it work. It rarely works. And if it didn't work for 50 years, I'd be damned if I do it again. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I am not going to continue. Hey, man, to me, I'm not trying to change your mind. To me, it is insanity. They continue to do the exact same thing and expect a different result. That's all I'm saying. But, hey, if that's the way it needs to be, this is how I became a Raider fan to begin with. I would rather deal with old, crazy-ass Al Davis trying everything under the sun. You fine. Get me. I'm going to try everything under the sun. I would rather be a Cleveland Brown fan. I would rather be a Detroit Lion fan, because at least I know that they just don't know what the fuck they doing, or that it's a crazy-ass old man who hiring everybody under the sun trying to win right now. I'm not sure if the Chicago Bears are trying to win. And that's the honest to God truth. The last coach that was consistently good, he ran his ass out of town, a.k.a. Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith won 10 games without an offensive line, without offensive weapons, with trying to turn a defensive back into a wide receiver, and Jay Cutler as the quarterback. And they said, you know what, bruh? Your offensive line was destroyed. Your quarterback was hurt. Your wide receivers are trash. You won 10 games. I'm going to need you to get the fuck up out of here. You ask me? That's why the Bears came. That's why the Bears suck. And
man, the same thing that you're saying is the Raiders, the Cleveland Browns, or whoever, they're in the same position. You're doing that retool and you're still mediocre. So.
Hey, I would rather be a Browns fan and know that the owner's a doofus and he keep blowing it, versus the owners are saying, we ain't spending that money. Find another way. I would rather live like that. I hate John Gruden. I think he's a below average coach at this point in his career. But dude was trying. He was reaching with Chucky, and that he thought, man, if he could recapture the magic. Give me an example of the Bears hiring somebody that you said, oh yeah, it's on now. And again, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying. Can you do that?
I mean, they haven't. The only person that they hired that had coaching experience was John Fox within the last
50 years. 50. They've never hired a coach with head coach experience. They're not trying to win. They are not trying to win. There's nothing in the history of this team that says we're trying to win. I could be wrong. I could just be looking at this all the way wrong. I don't have a problem with being wrong, but I'm just looking at Mike Ditka, all these Rudies that they've been the head coach since then. Hey man, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm looking at my Jack Pardee. Man. I'm looking them up right now. Chicago Bear head coaches. I'm looking it up right now. I can't think of one of these dudes. No, why you? It's a talk show, fam. You're supposed to have a conversation. You're right. What you want to talk about?
What's next on the menu?
The team, the games.
Okay.
You start.
Which games you starting with?
Any of them. Go right ahead. Start with the Thursday game.
Peace out.
All right. And with that being said, man, Joe, Houston versus Detroit. Who you talk to me?
Oh man, Houston and Detroit. My fault, brother. I'm just trying to get back where I'm supposed to be. Houston and Detroit. Okay, Houston got back on track. Thanksgiving game. Sean Watson actually came a Superman-esque type of player. Offense was rolling, and that was pretty much it. They got the lead and kept up and kept it moving.
I think it was a damn good game. And like you said, man, the fact that this dude is putting up these Herculean efforts and they've traded away everybody but J.J. Watt is a damn shame. 41-25. Homeboy should have been fired. The head coach should have been fired. And, yeah, he looking good. Dallas, Washington.
It was trying to be for a little more, man, truthfully, I blinked and the score was just, man, crazy. Dallas, of course, man, we knew Dallas wasn't going to be the same without that. With everything going, Andy Dalton is not we call service equipment that service for quarterback. So he's not even looking like that. Washington did thing and kept it rolling.
The Dallas Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys. I'm thinking, oh boy, might get fired at the end of this. The head coach, he might get beheaded, and they might have to hit the reset button. And because this is not looking good at all. When the Washington Redskins, when the Washington football team, Jack Roll, it's a wrap. Raiders versus Atlanta.
I don't think the Raiders lose the game. The way it's played, like you said. Jacobs did hurt his ankle, and then that's just pretty much the real the whole game plan. That Falcons played and kept their foot on the gas and keep the brakes off of them.
The Raiders came in, underestimated these dudes, got their asses handed to them. This is one of those trap games. They walked into Atlanta saying, we got this. And the Atlanta Falcons, headed up by Rohan Smith, said, no, y'all don't. Beat the hell out them. Too many turnovers, too many penalties. It was the Raiders for the better part of the last 20 years, 15 years. That's what it was. The Chargers versus Buffalo.
Buffalo defense put everything together. He kept Justin Herbert contained. Wasn't really no big game, big touchdown from them like you normally have. Josh Allen did turn the ball over 2 times. So, hey, new game. Running game was wrong for them.
I think Anthony Lynn is going to get fired on the heels of this game because the way he handled those goal line situations was horrible, and I think it's going to cost him his job. Cincinnati versus the Giants. Who really get that?
Giants. Hey, leader of the division. Shout out to them. Shout out to Brockers. I know he's happy about that. They won the game. I mean, they did what they did to win the game. Regardless, the ball in their hands. Next time the field goes and hey, proud of the Giants. Hey, there you go, Chief. Proud of your Giants.
Yeah, it was a game. Indianapolis versus Tennessee.
Oh man, my coach took it straight on the chin. Derrick Henry came out the box and was just running all over. Of course, Philip Rivers turned into Bill Murray, a couple of receptions, and that's pretty much that. And then, of course, the onside kick that turned into a touchdown made the game, of course, that much more. But that running game killed us.
This is one of the reasons I think Derrick Henry should be in the MVP conversation. Everybody was raving about the Colts defense, and he made them look like they were non-existent. 178 yards. This is third time doing it. He looked like he's warming up. He's nimble. He's showing people why he was on the team. Carolina Panthers, Minnesota Vikings.
Oh man, that's just bad. Just bad luck. I mean, that would have went down and came back in. I really just, man, it's hard break by the Panthers. Man, you couldn't make the last field goal in the game. They ain't got it.
Big Illinois.
Carolina Panthers and who?
Minnesota Vikings.
Hey man, Kirk was on fire, man. Shit, that boy Justin Jefferson was off the chain.
This is one of the reasons. This is why I rail so hard about stats and shit like that. Because I mean, you can't deny Kirk Cousins having a great game. They shut down Dalvin Cook. And, this is why I rave about the eye test. Because if you watch Kirk Cousins this week, you'd thought, hey, man, he the man. But you also have to factor in the fact that the Carolina Panthers had the worst pass rush in the National Football League at this point. They apply the least pressure to any quarterback. So, I mean, if you're a professional quarterback, even if you're average or rudimentary, if you ain't nobody sweating you walk away with a clean jersey, you're going to look like Kirk Cousins did. So, man. The Patriots versus the Arizona Cardinals. Talk to me.
Man. Bill Belichick did his thing regardless of when they were paying Kyler Murray the way they're supposed to. Even though Kyler Murray still may have had injuries regarding that 18 short, that kept him at bay. Cam wasn't explosive. Cam just didn't turn the ball over when at the wrong time. So of course, as he said, it was an ugly win, and as far as it goes, you'll take those ugly wins instead of the impact ball.
That was like good coaching as far as on the defensive side, and when they needed to make a play, they did.
Yeah, this is.
His stats was terrible, but shit. If I take a win, shit.
A W is a W.
Right.
A W is a fucking W. Period. I'm forced to agree with Joe. Bill Belichick, man. And him being smart enough to know that this man has a sore AC joint. He knowing that this dude got this hand cannon that ain't firing the way it needed to be. So he said, hey, you got to beat me deep. And they could. So, hey, shout out to Bill Belichick. Dolphins, Jets. Never mind.
Just in the season.
Right. Never mind. Cleveland, Jacksonville. Ain't no need talking about the fucking Jets game. You know what? I'm going to say one good thing about the Jets game. Frank Gore had 74 yards. Big up to Frank Gore, man. This dude is tireless. I got a question for both of y'all. Is Frank Gore Hall of Fame?
I say yes.
That's a question for the whole chat room. Is Frank Gore Hall of Fame?
I say yes.
Y'all know? Did he get cut off? Yeah, he got cut off because it went straight. I don't see his name no more. He'll be calling back in a second.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, we didn't hear you.
Yeah, but no, at this point, I mean, what do you like number? He in the top 10 in rushing.
I think he in the top 5.
I think he's number 3.
Right. He up there.
I don't know. That's like 50-50. Actually, I say it's 60-40.
I'll say yes, simply because I thought he was a Hall of Famer 4 or 5 years ago. And the fact that he's still playing, hell yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. And if you ever walk past Frank Gore, you think you walk past your little brother. I mean, he loped, but he's a very, very small man. I say yes, Hall of Fame. RC says yes. Microwave says absolutely. And Raiders said the same. I agree with all of those guys. But back to the game. I think Frank Gore is there.